What's going on, guys? 8BitGlitz79 here, and I'm here to talk about my experience going to the Empire Game Expo in Albany, New York. So this is us on the road. Instead of taking the interstates, we decided to go north through Vermont over to New York State, taking the countryside, taking the slower way. It actually wasn't the slower, it was about the same amount of time, but as you can see, the scenery is a lot better than a bunch of 18-wheelers and 4-lane highways. I love living in this part of New England. It's the most beautiful part of New England, I would say, with the mountains. So as we got to the convention, right at the entrance, you'll see here that Russ Lyman had his car parked out. I didn't get any footage at FragCon when he had it there, so I finally got some here. And he had it at too many games, but I didn't get a chance to see it. So I'm glad I got another up close look at his car. You can see pictures and video of it, but to see it up close and in person and see the work that he put into this is just amazing. I wanted to get a shot of the custom tables he made. He did a whole video on that on his channel if you want to check that out. Oh, there's me. The hatch wasn't open when we first got there. You can see it, some Rock Band stuff or something back there. But on the way out, when we were leaving, it was open, and I took a picture. You can see the warp pipe in a moment that was holding a subwoofer speaker. It's a pretty ingenious way of having a subwoofer and incorporating the pipe. Here's my kids. They love the car. They wanted a picture with it. And there's the pipe with the subwoofer in it. It's awesome. Genius. So this is the entrance. I just got a shot of the banner as you walked in. You walked right into the lobby of this hotel. My kids wanted to go around this door a couple times. There's my kids bugging some card game person. This was the first floor when you first walked in. This was the free play area and where the tournaments were held. Sony was there. They had a table right there set up. They handed out some lanyards and little Sony things. I think I got like a badge, retractable badge thing. So over to the left there was a couple people showing off some indie games. I'm walking right now towards where the consoles were set up for free play. Right there you can see a Game Room Solution arcade stick set up with some MAME. There's my kids running off trying to find something to play. Over here they had an Atari Flashback and a 360 set up. Here they had an original Xbox and a PlayStation 2. There's a PlayStation 1, I believe. Over here you had a Genesis, Super Nintendo, a Dreamcast set up. Had a Retron 5. This was pretty neat. It's an old PlayStation kiosk, and that was actually for sale for $500. And then he had some more systems here. I think these are some more of the modern ones. Back there you can see the stage where they held the cosplay contest and had some musical acts. Here's a shot of my kids playing original Halo on the Xbox. They were getting a real kick out of that. I gotta set that up for them here at the house. I think they really love that. Actually, I think you can play that now on the Xbox One. Here's my wife. She's playing Metal Slug on the PlayStation 2. This is Mila Lee. She's a voice actress. She actually done the voice for Jade in Mortal Kombat 11, Lifeline in Apex, and Kiki in Tiki rather in Smash Brothers Ultimate. It was really cool to meet her. She's done a lot of other work in TV stuff as well. You can check out her online. So here's just a quick walk around of the whole floor. It was a good mix of booths they had. games and people doing art and crafts kind of stuff. So it was a good mix of things like that. And some tables had a little bit of both. It wasn't too bad. At some points in the day, it got a little crowded in the aisles. I didn't get a lot of shots of any specific tables close up, I would say, because there's just so many people. I just wanted to get a quick overview of the floor here. This was on the second floor. I would say there was probably about 6 to 7 aisles. So aisles meaning tables on each side. So like this is one aisle. There's a guy there right to the right selling shirts. He was at Too Many Games. I recognized him and talked to him. This booth here, straight ahead here, had an interesting Sega Master System game I never saw before. I should have got a picture or a shot of it, but it was called, what was it called? Double Eagle, I think, or something. I gotta look it back up again. It was actually a PAL Sega Master System game, and if you thought Contra was a ripoff of Schwarzenegger and Stallone, you should check out the cover of this game, because I swear to God, they ripped their likeness off completely. And then there was a booth right to the left there. You didn't see it, but I might swing by it here. They had a few hacks. They were like $35, $40 a piece. I almost got one, but ended up not. And here's Mike Levy and Russ's table, Russ Lyman's. And there's some TurboGrafx games, some Game Boy games I was looking at. And Russ just walked by and he said, "Hey, you shopping or filming?" And I said, "Both." So it was a very small but very nice convention. I thought it was like perfect, being in one that was just for one day, and for me being so close, just 2 hours away. You know, I was able to get there right after breakfast, hang out for a while, and then leave and make it home for dinner. So there was a few, you could see right there, cosplayers, a lot of Zeldas. I don't know, there probably was like 4 or 5 women dressed up as Zelda. I think there's even 2 right behind that table there. There was one guy dressed as Casey Jones, Ninja Turtles, and then a couple others I didn't recognize. There's just one coming up here. She's talking to this table. I have no idea who she's supposed to be. So here is Russ Lyman and Mike Levy's panel. They did a DIY channel. They're, as you know, Russ is big on making things. Like there he's talking about a shifter knob, and of course he did that whole car that was outside. But about customizing controllers. Mike Levy talked about how to wrap cords of controllers properly, storage, how to fix unregion mod your consoles. Here's Super Thrash Bros. These guys are great because they dressed up as different characters from video games here. Sheik and Mega Man. You got Ness on the drums. And then these 2 guys in the suits here, they're the Master Hand and Crazy Hand. And they were bouncing around, thrashing around like crazy, running through the crowd. They were very entertaining, these 2 guys here. They were just as fun to watch as the band was. pretty cool. Yes, they were part of the band or something. So as you see from the footage, that's what the con was like. To sum it up, let's take it over to our buddy Russ Lyman. Russ, what do you think of Empire Game Expo?
It's pretty fun. I've never been to a convention in like a hotel setting, so it's very cozy.
Yeah, it's pretty tight.
But not overbearing. There's room to walk and move, and there's a lot of great deals. I found a lot of bins that were like $1. Atari games. They had ones in the corner there. There was just like disc games, PS3 games, so
yeah,
you don't have to spend a lot of money.
No, under the table is the best bins. Woo! All right. So yeah, he pretty much summed it up. It was small and cozy. It didn't have a lot of space to move because there was a lot of people there, which was great for them. It was a great turnout. So hopefully next year it'll be even bigger and it'll continue to grow. Since this was its first year, it can only go bigger. So now you want to see the pickups, I'm sure. I didn't get a heck of a lot because I just went to too many games and I got a lot there. So the prices at this con for the stuff I really wanted was kind of above price charting at eBay. So I was a little about getting anything there, and I didn't really see anything that really jumped out at me that I wanted. So I got a little bit of some common things, and I went really cheap. First stop I made was at a table that had a bin of dollar Atari games. So let's go over those here. There's some common titles that I didn't have in my collection. One of them I was surprised. I thought I did, but I checked my list and I didn't. And that was Missile Command. So I got Missile Command for the Atari 2600. Here, Super Breakout. Yeah. These were $1 a piece. Warlords. And label on this one's a little beat up, but Haunted House. Now the bin had a lot of there's 5 or more copies of Warlords and Missile Command, so just take your pick. So a lot of common stuff. At the same booth they had a bin of DVDs. I know it's not game related, but I don't think I've ever saw this Futurama movie, so I picked this up. It says $2 on it, but it was actually only $1. It's Into the Wild Green Yonder. I'm a big fan of Futurama. I like it even more than The Simpsons. An Evening with Kevin Smith 2, even harder. I forgot when this came out back in the day. Forgot all about it, and I saw it, so I grabbed it. I'm a big Kevin Smith fan. Love his movies. Comic Book Men show that's no longer on, but the podcast and stuff. Good stuff. And then I got this from Mike Levy. Shantae's and Shantae and the Pirate's Curse on the 3DS. Here. Complete. I've been getting into the DS a lot lately now that I got Contra 4 and stuff. My kids have two 2DSs. I don't have a 3DS or a 2DS. I have a regular old original DS that plays like the Game Boy Advance. But I'm looking into getting a 3DS XL or something. So now that I've noticed that there's some really good titles and games on that. Before I get to these, I went to another bin, table I should say, that had a bin of PSP titles that were all loose, no cases, and I dug through those. And then I only got one game and a bunch, the rest are all movies. And I got a deal on this. The one movie I got was Killzone, whoa, almost dropped it. Killzone Liberation. That was marked $3.99. Down here. I got one. This is me and my wife's one of our favorite comedies, Saving Silverman, Jack Black. I think that's Chris Zahn is his name, or Zahn. And the guy from American Pie that did the thing with the pie. He's in it. Predator, the one with Schwarzenegger, the original Predator. Let's see. T2. Here. Super Bad, Kill Bill Volume 1, and this is very nostalgic because this is a movie. I was in a band, and it's when I met my wife, who was my friend at the time and everything. But as a whole group of us, we'd watched this movie 100 times, and our other guitar player had like a big crush on, I forget her name, but the evil one or whatever, the Craft. So that was the one I saw right on top of the whole bin and made me dig through it. Seeing that, it brought back memories. Not that I don't have this on DVD or whatever, but just seeing it, you know, was cool. So all the movies were marked $1.99. So I put these all together. Came to what, like 16 bucks with the game and the movies. I handed him the stack and said, "Would you do $9?" And he looked at it and said, "Sure." So I don't know what that comes out to each, but I got that stack for $9. And then the only other thing I got was last round around the floor was I saw this bin of instruction booklets, and I dug through them, and I was kind of like, I don't know if I want to get instruction booklets or not. And then I saw this one, and it's funny that he had this because I got this at Too Many Games for the Sega Master System, but it had the case and game but no manual, and so I found the manual for it, Time Soldiers. So now I've completed that. Then I got Double Dragon for the NES, Double Dragon 2, Metal Gear, Adventures of Lolo 2. This one's got some of these codes on the back. Didn't notice that until now. Mike Tyson's Punch-Out. And then he gave me this one because this is one of the first ones after Time Soldiers that I found, and I was like, oh, I'm so disappointed because it's all written on and got coffee stains. And he said, well, just take it since you're getting the other stack. And it's Mega Man 2. You can see the coffee stains and then like somebody wrote a code on there. I haven't opened these. They're still wrapped in their plastic that he put them in to see if there's any writing on the inside. But you know what? That's okay. It's kind of fun to see somebody's memories written on there. So that's pretty much what I got for my pickups. I was pretty conservative. Like I said, I just went to Too Many Games and spent a lot there. So I just going to check it out since it was his first year and it was only a 2-hour drive away. So $10 to get in, so why not, right? So that was my experience at the Empire Game Expo 2019, its first year. Will I go back again next year? Yeah, why not? Like I said, it's 2 hours away. It's just a Saturday thing to do, fun thing to do. So maybe it'll grow into a 2-day. You'll get even more guests and maybe in an even bigger facility, so it's not so tight. But that was a fun time, and if you're in the area, I highly recommend it. I don't know if you want to fly all the way out from the West Coast for it yet, because it's not that big, but definitely if you're in the New England area or something, it's worth a check out, definitely. So this has been Empire Games 2019, 8-Bit Glitch 79, and I'm glitching out.